Hello, students. We are getting to the end of the semester. Can you believe it? So this is our last major project. Project 3 follows Project 2. So Project 2, you've researched a topic in this intersectional manner and you've come at it in a different light and you have all these newfound ideals and theories, and you probably understand the path to take to solve this issue, or a path to take to solve this issue. So what I'm asking you to do is put together a persuasive argument. I am allowing you to choose a letter to a representative or an advocacy video. You can do either or. So you can either write a letter to a congressperson, an actual congressperson that actually needs to hear about this issue, not just picking John McCain and deciding, oh, this is who you're going to write to, or you can do a 2-minute advocacy video. Your job is to continue from paper 2, except now I want you to propose a solution, okay? The length, the letter needs to be 1,000 words, the video needs to be 2 minutes. So I'd like you to hit some sort of sweet spot there. If it's a little bit over 1,000 words, fine. If it's a little bit over 2 minutes, fine. If it's under, no dice. But if it goes to like 10,000 words, or if it turns into a 20-minute video, you've overshot the mark, okay? So you can go a little bit above, but you definitely can't go under, and you can't go way above. The format needs to be either a traditional business letter, or a video, a polished video using music, narration, and statistics, etc. I would like you to put together a works cited for both of those. So each of these need to be accompanied with a works cited. Any evidence. And it can also be a repeat. Like, I use these sources and they're actually all from my annotated bibliography. Or you may have needed to use different statistics. So I'm asking you to propose a solution to the issue that you looked at for project number 2. Your solution should be creative, insightful, and a result of careful research from project number 2. And guess what? Your solution should make an attempt at an intersectional solution, something that will help people from the most vulnerable backgrounds. So the example I give here is that, say, project 2 looked at funding abortions. And one of the issues you found for poor women and women of color was access to free or cheap clinics. You might decide to write a state senator calling for the creations in needed areas, in rural areas where there are none, or adding some in populated cities where there's a greater need. You also might put an advocacy video together explaining the problem to the public and spelling out this solution. In both of those instances, I want you to spend a lot of time spelling out this solution. Not just, we need more clinics, the end, right? I want you to talk about why, what's going on, right? Why is there why is there a lack of clinics? Like, so really kind of frame the problem. And then how do you plan to solve it? What are the ins and outs of the solution? So again, creative, innovative, and insightful, and detailed. Your solution should be extremely detailed, right? If you decided that for people to get like that food stamps need some sort of social media component, and again, I'm completely drawing this up, you need to be specific and spell out, either in your advocacy video or your letter, what this solution entails. What are the parts? And why is it so popular? Argue for the solution and do the legwork for your audience. So the letter needs to have background of the problem, carefully picking which legislator, not just anyone, just don't go down the list. Pick someone who is important and who can get things done on your issue. And then using rhetorical appeals to get your point across. So going back to the stuff we talked about in paper number 1, ethos, pathos, and logos. Same thing with the video. Again, 2 minutes long. The audience is a little different, the general American public. It should make the case for the problem and spell out the solution. You should use evidence, right? Logos, statistics. The video should be entertaining, pathos. It shouldn't just be you talking in front of the camera. If you want to do the video and the only thing you have is you talking in front of a camera, you should probably write the letter. I have this option for people who just, you don't want to be confined to a paper and you're a creative person and you know how to shoot video. Awesome, right? That's what I want you to do. If that's not your jam, totally do the letter, write your letter to a representative, and that'll be fine. If you're doing the video, you'll still need to do editing and production and things like that. That's all on you, and there's really easy software out to do that. Once again, rhetorical appeals, ethos, pathos, logos, kairos. And so I'm grading this on the idea that you can write and produce a persuasive argument that is supported by evidence and that uses rhetorical appeals appropriately to the context to hail your audience. So hopefully this project should be really fun, because now that you've gotten your heels dug into an issue, you get to really, really, really spell out how you feel this solution can happen, right? And now I'm not talking about how you can solve, right, a huge crisis. Like, how can you reroute the Dakota Access Pipeline? Maybe you can't solve the bigness of the solution, but maybe your research there helps you put together like some sort of best practices in dealing with native populations, right? Again, great. That would be awesome. Solving the entire issue of the Dakota Access Pipeline might be above you. It might be above what you can do and even what you can propose. So remember, even small scale solutions can really help you here. So if you focus in on, helping oil professionals and engineers talk to native populations in issues like that, and how they can do it in a respectful manner, if you put together like a script for them, and that's your solution, that's actually a really helpful and viable solution, right? Awesome. So I'm looking forward to this. There's a couple more videos for you to watch. One by myself talking about the nuts and bolts of proposal arguments, and the other one is Dean Spade's Trickle Up Social Justice. Both of those are really great things to look at when it comes to these type of arguments. So have a great day.